Okay, you should be able to see the full screen view. In case if you are not able to see it, you just give me a ring. Yeah,
Is visible.
visible, right? Fine, great. So today's class is, what is this? 1.6 aperture f-stop depth of field. So one class is already conducted on exposure. In that, I told you how to get the proper exposure is not the objective of the class, but just for identification is important. But today is the class where we'll be concentrating more on how to get the proper exposure. So there are three major things which control exposure of a photo that we are capturing. One is aperture, second is shutter speed, and third is ISO. So today our class is on aperture and 1.7 shutter speed and 1.8 ISO will be discussing in detail. So today we'll be concentrating only on aperture. So let's see what does it mean. I have shared two videos. One is on the earlier generation of film cameras, and the second about the modern digital camera. There we have seen how these cameras work. So how they look like this. Let us say this is the modern digital camera. So this portion is the body, like 750 is written, D750 FX Nikon is written. So this is called as the body, whereas this portion where I am just moving my cursor, my mouse, this is lens, this is detachable. If we see the ring portion, this round, this circular portion, this is the opening of the lens. Here one opening is there. So this opening in the lens through which light enters into the camera is known as aperture, right? This particular, physically whatever we are seeing is not the actual aperture, but here some opening is there in the camera. This opening is called as aperture. We'll have a more close-up view like this. See, this is the actual lens. In this one small circle is there, this particular thing. This is the opening. Through this opening, light enters into the camera. This opening is called as aperture. So now we know that what is aperture. So now we'll see how this aperture is represented. Like our body weight is represented in terms of kilogram. Aperture is represented in terms of f number, small f. So let us say f 1.4. What it is denoting? One aperture value it is denoting. F 2.0, one aperture value. F 2.8, another aperture value. So this is the way we can represent aperture. Okay, if we see it, bigger is the aperture. When we say the aperture is bigger, means opening in the lens is bigger. And how it is represented? With a smaller number, 1.4. Please understand it carefully. When this opening is more, we call it bigger aperture, but it is represented with a smaller value like 1.4. When the opening is less, like the last picture, we call it the aperture is less, the aperture is smaller, but it is represented with a bigger number like f 8.0. Will come again. Opening is more, we call it aperture is bigger, represented with a smaller f value like 1.4. Opening is small, we call it smaller aperture, represented with a bigger f value. So when we are shifting from f 1.4 to f 2.0, the aperture is becoming slightly lesser, smaller. What does it mean? With bigger aperture, more light will enter into the camera. With smaller aperture, less light will enter into the camera, right? This concept has to be very clear. So bigger aperture, smaller f value, more light will come into the camera. Smaller aperture, smaller is the opening, represented with a bigger f value, less light will enter into the camera. Same thing is also represented in the next picture. Like f1.4, a very big aperture, opening is more light. f2, so aperture is comparatively less, opening is less, amount of light entering is less. So more we go towards this direction, like f2.8, f4, f5.6, f8, f16, f12, what we are doing, aperture or opening is becoming smaller and less of light is entering into the frame. So this is the mathematical definition. But with this mathematical definition, or with this larger opening or smaller opening, what does it is actually controlling? Aperture controls something called as depth of field. What is depth of field? We'll see it here. When the aperture is bigger, more light entering into the frame, depth of field means out of the total frame, what are the things that will be in focus and what are the things that will not be in focus. I repeat, depth of field means what are the things that will be in focus and what are the things that will not be in focus. So when aperture is bigger, means the opening is bigger, represented with a small number, less of the subject will be in focus. In the reverse way, when the aperture is smaller, opening is smaller, represented with a big f value, more of the subject will be in focus, right? We'll see this like this. See, aperture is f2, mean aperture is very big, represented with a small number f2, but see the subject here, the model is in focus, but the background is out of focus. You can see it. Model is in focus, background is out of focus. Why it is happening like this? Because we are using bigger aperture, opening is more, represented with a small f value f2. Whereas in the reverse way, when we are using smaller aperture, means opening is less, but represented with a bigger f value, everything will be in focus. See the subject, the model, as well as the background behind, everything is in focus, right? We'll take some more time to understand this. This is the subject, flower. This is the branch. So only the flower is in focus, whereas the background is out of focus. How this is achieved? With a bigger aperture, with a bigger opening, and represented with a smaller f value, something like f1.2, f1.4, f1.8, like that. Similarly, this is the subject, this is the photo. There are many portions, like this bench is there, 2 persons are sitting. Then next come this water of the lake, next come the hill, and next come the sky. If you see the photo carefully, everything is in focus. How this is achieved? With a smaller aperture, smaller opening, and with a bigger f value, right? Is it clear? Only the subject in focus, background is out of focus. How this is achieved? With a bigger aperture, bigger opening, smaller f value. How this is achieved? Everything is in focus with a smaller aperture, smaller opening, represented with a bigger f value, right? It should be clear. So certain condition we will say, like when we want the subject to be in focus, we have to shoot some model, some subject, and we want the background to be completely out of focus, then we'll go for a bigger aperture, like this. In case we are taking landscape photography, where everything or whatever things are there in the entire frame is desired to be in focus, we'll go for a smaller aperture, smaller opening, bigger f value. Why there are certain situations where bigger aperture is very useful, like night time. If you are taking any photo, so in general light is less in the subject and you want more light to be present onto that particular photo or the particular subject or the particular frame. So what we are going to use, we are going to use bigger aperture like this. So to take this photo at night time, we have used bigger aperture so that we are getting exposure properly for this particular photo. So whatever we have discussed, we will take some image to understand it more deeper way. Let us say in this particular photo, 4 subjects are there. You can see this is one Bluetooth speaker is there, one more charger is there. Is everything going fine? I will see the checkbox one. Everything is fine. Yes, everything is fine. So there is one speaker, one charger is there. One more object is there, third object, and the fourth objects are there. So total 4 objects are there in the frame. They are placed at certain distance. First object, between the first object and the second object, certain distance is there, and between third to second, some distance is there. Why this distance is there? We want to understand the aperture, like how this shifting of aperture changes the way it is focused and the amount of light that is entering into the camera. We are going to understand this. What we have used a very bigger aperture, bigger opening, smaller f value. So out of those 4 subjects that were placed in front of the camera, only the Bluetooth speaker is in focus. Rest of the thing you see, those are completely out of focus, and the amount of light that has entered into the camera is also very high. See, the photo is overexposed. So when we are having this experiment, we have kept all other settings of the camera intact. We are just changing our aperture value. In case it is 1.8, where only the Bluetooth speaker is in focus. Next, we have changed the aperture to f2.0. So what actually we have done? We have gone for a smaller aperture value, smaller opening represented with a bigger f value. So now this, obviously this speaker is in focus, but a portion of this charger is also a bit focused. Light is less comparatively. This is the first photo, this is the second photo. Light is comparatively less. We go for 3. Now this aperture is f2.8. So smaller aperture, smaller opening, bigger f value comparatively. Now the speaker is in focus, as well as this charger is also a bit in focus. So we see the next photo, see f4.0. Comparatively smaller aperture, smaller opening, represented with a bigger f value. This Bluetooth speaker is in focus, as well as this charger is also in focus. But the amount of light that we are seeing now is less. Why it is less? Because the opening in the lens is smaller now. So 2 things it is controlling. One, how much of the frame or how much of the subject will be in focus, and the amount of light that is entering into the frame. So how much of the subject mean it is controlling depth of field, and how much is the light mean it is controlling the overexposure or underexposure. Next photo, f5.6. Bluetooth speaker is in focus, charger is in focus, and the third object is also in focus now, but amount of light is less. See, f8.0, even the third object is in completely focus, amount of light is very less. So this is how we can visualize how changing of aperture physically affects the quality or how the way the frame is captured because of changing of the aperture. Hope it is clear to you. See, f22, all of the subject is in focus, speaker, charger, third object, fourth object is in focus, but amount of light is very less. So when we want the entire subject or entire thing that we are seeing through the camera to be in focus, we have to go for a smaller aperture. Like for landscape photography, we are going to use something like f16, f22, because everything should be in focus. Hope it is clear to you how you are going to set aperture value to your camera. Because whatever registration was done, it is only for Nikon cameras. So I am going to explain only for Nikon cameras. So we have already seen these modes. There are modes like A mode, aperture priority, and there are modes like manual mode. So in both this mode, aperture mode and manual mode, you can select the appropriate aperture that you want for a particular photo, like f1.2 or f5.6. You can set these things using A mode, aperture priority mode, and manual mode. And please do remember that aperture priority mode is different than auto mode. Auto mode is here. This green color is auto mode, whereas A is aperture priority mode, M is manual mode. And with the help of this particular button, which is not visible somewhere like here it will be, you can set the appropriate aperture that you want for a particular photo. Here it is, not this one, not this one. This is wrong. It will be there here. In earlier photo, it will be here. This knob you can control to set the appropriate aperture here. This red mark is there. So here one more knob will be there where you can set the appropriate aperture that you want for a particular photo. You can see also what is the aperture you have set. Like for this photo, the aperture is set to 5.6. Here it is. For different models or for different manufacturer, the interface will be something different, but there will be straightforward way where you can directly fit the aperture that you want for a particular photo. What about mobile phones? There are many people in this group who are using mobile phone. So they don't directly have ways to set the aperture directly. But what you can do, let us say if you want a bigger aperture, so opening will be big and the f value will be small. So if you want to get that type of desired result, you use this particular mode called portrait. When it use portrait mode, the camera tries to give you the biggest possible aperture, right? So the same thing that the camera f1.2 was trying to achieve, this portrait mode will try to achieve the same thing for you depending upon the cost of the mobile. Similarly, when you are trying to achieve f16 or f22 using camera, not possible with mobile, but you can try to take a photo with landscape mode, which will try to simulate the smallest possible aperture for your photo, right? So for bigger aperture, portrait mode; for smaller aperture, landscape mode. Let us say night time, like I saw you one example where the photo was taken at night because of low light. So that type of situation you can control by taking photo with night mode. So with night mode, it tries two things. One is it tries to set the aperture in the biggest possible way. And there is one more thing called ISO. It tries to lower, higher the ISO that we'll be discussing later on. But night mode, if you use, it tries to provide you the biggest possible aperture. Similarly, night time, if you are trying to take some portrait where amount of light is less, like in street light or in some party environment, you can try for night portrait mode. In this mode also, the phone will try to provide you the biggest possible aperture, as well as it will try to control the ISO setting so that more amount of light can be controlled and you will have the feeling of excessive amount of light or adequate amount of light to the particular photo or frame. So that was all. We will have a small assignment on it. Assignment number 4, 2 photos you have to post. One for the biggest possible aperture to blur the background or to make the background out of focus, and one photo for the smallest possible aperture so that everything will be in focus, something like landscape photography. You have to send to this particular email ID. You are already familiar with it. So I'll do a very quick recap for you so that we can understand it properly. So there are 3 major parameters which are controlling the exposure that we are trying to achieve. Those are aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Today we are going to discuss about aperture. So aperture is nothing but one opening or hole that is there in the lens. and this is represented with f number, something like f1.4, f2.0, f8.0. When the opening is more, we call it bigger aperture, but it is represented with a smaller f value like 1.4. When the opening is less, we call it smaller aperture, but represented with a bigger f value like f8.0. So from 1.4 to f22, the aperture gradually decreases. What aperture visibly controls? It controls depth of field, like how much of the subject will be in focus and how much of the subject will not be in focus. When the aperture is bigger, f value is small, only the subject will be in focus and rest of the things will be out of focus. Whereas when the aperture is small, opening is small, represented with a bigger f value, everything that is part of the frame will be in focus. So this type of photo, subject in focus, background out of focus, we need bigger aperture, smaller f value, something like f1.4. This type of situation for landscape photography where everything should be in focus, that is the desired thing, we need smaller aperture and bigger f value, right? So this was the concept. For night time, if you want to take photos, try to take a photo with bigger aperture. With camera, what you can do, you can directly set your aperture value in aperture priority mode or manual mode. But if you are not having access to camera and if you are using only mobile phone, so for background blur, you can try to take a photo in portrait mode. To achieve landscape photography, you can just use landscape mode. For night time, you can use two different modes. These are called night mode as well as night portrait. Hope this session is useful to you. That was from my side. So now I would like to take questions from you if anything is there from your side. So if anyone is having any doubt, I will take Anirban.
Hello, am I
Anirban.
hearable?
Yeah. You are audible. Tell me, Anirban.
Okay, I have two questions.
Okay.
First one, in a dedicated camera, the A property which it is related to, is it a property of lens or a property of the camera body?
No, it is not a property of the camera body. It is always a property of the lens.
Okay, that's fine. That's my first question. And the second question is, what does the F number represent? Just like the shutter speed, we represent it as a 1 by something value or 30 second, 1 second. That means the shutter will open for that fraction of time, right?
True.
Okay, so what the F number means? That the number 2, 2.5, 1.8, what does it mean?
If you remember,
I know that
Anirban,
it is the opening of the aperture, but what the number signifies?
True. If you remember, Anirban, when we studied the subject physics, the first equation that we used to get from optics, there this F number was there, right? So if you just check that equation, you will be able to see. Right now, I'm not in a position to explain, but it is part of some equation.
Okay.
So that equation, you have to check it once. It is just a mathematics.
Okay. Thanks.
So Subhankar, you can ask.
Sir, I have only one question about that. Sir, actually, Anirban asked for that F, what it is represent that number. F means focal length or something, sir.
Focal length.
We use in our physics, focal length. It is just a kind of matter of numbers, how we use it in camera or mobile phone. Sir, yes. Actually, I have a question that if we are going to take a photo of a portrait, we use F value with a lesser F value. And the aperture, the light can a lot light will come, like कि अगर हम घर की खिड़की खोलते हैं ज्यादा तो ज्यादा रोशनी घुसता है और उसे कम खोलेंगे तो वो थोड़ा कम रोशनी आएगा. Simply like that.
Perfect.
But when we gonna see the whole environment through that window, we have to open the whole window like that.
True.
और अगर हम थोड़ा सा खोलेंगे तो थोड़ा ही दिखेगा और पूरा खोल दूंगा तो पूरा दिखेगा. तो लाइक सर कि मैं अगर एक्सपोजर कंट्रोल करना चाहूँ वो तो हो गया aperture. मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो जो like that कि when we are using the f value with lesser f value, light, a lot of light is coming, but we want to control the ISO. I want to control especially that light brightness. Is it possible? Because I am doing with that my phone and the light is too much, but I have to control when we zoom in the camera, the f value is lesser, light is coming a lot, and I can control the brightness level. Like I can control the ISO. Is it possible with the camera to control the ISO?
Yes, for every camera, it is very much possible to control the ISO. Whatever desired ISO you want, it can be controlled and can be set. We will see that in chapter 1.8 ISO. It is very much possible. So what?
Sir, I have also one question about that. Sorry to interrupt you or sorry to disturb you, sir. But like my question is that about shutter speed, because
shutter speed. Suvankar, shutter speed will be discussing on the next chapter.
Yes, 1. Sir. I know that. I know that, sir. Just a small question for you. Like shutter speed is only available in camera. I think we all know it. Shutter speed is only available in camera, DSLR or somewhere, but it is not available in our phone to control the shutter speed. Shutter speed is all about
there are many phones. There are many phones where they will give you some interface which can where you can set the shutter speed. Whatever shutter speed you want, that can be set. In case there is no such option, there are mechanisms or there are modes available which, if you set it properly, you can achieve the desired result with the mobile phone also. We'll see that. We'll see that. Chapter 1.7. We'll see that it can be done. It's not like that sir. You have to purchase one camera DSLR just to get the shutter speed. With mobile also it can be controlled.
The shutter speed is all.
I have a very basic handset. With this also I control shutter speed. So I'll just let you know how you can do it.
Yes. Okay, sir. Sir, shutter speed is only helpful to control the speed of the object or something.
True. Suvankar will be discussing that on the next time. Shutter speed. There are other questions I want to take. We'll be discussing that. Sir. We'll be discussing that in chapter 1.7.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank fine. You, sir. You can unmute yourself. You can lower your hand. Prisha, you can ask. You can unmute yourself.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Sir, you said that higher the number, like if we take F22, light will be less and depth of field will be greater. So in what cases do we use this sort of exposure? Because if the light is less, then naturally it will become quite dark, like in the photo you showed. So how is this useful for landscape?
It is useful because see, when we take a landscape photo in a proper daylight, you go there and you try to set the aperture something like f16, still that photo that normally you get will be properly exposed. In case if you are not getting it properly exposed, like something like if you are getting underexposed photo, there are mechanism like ISO which you can set to some higher value so that the exposure level will be proper. So we'll be discussing that in chapter 1.8 ISO. But believe me, when you are setting the f value to f16, f12, or even f22 also, you get proper exposure only. But yes, light has to be there in a properly lit sunlight or in a day where the sky is not cloudy, you get proper exposure with f16 also.
Okay, sir. So another doubt, does it mean that aperture and all helps us in focusing also our subject, the subject that we want in our photo when we're taking a?
Aperture will not help you to focus, right? Like aperture is something which is controlling the depth of field, but focusing is done technically by some other unit of the camera. You can set the aperture to f1.2 and you can get a photo which is blur. Similarly, you can set the aperture to f16 and you can get a photo which is again blur. So those two are different things. Focusing is done by some different hardware, right? And aperture is controlled by some different portion of the lens. Those two are completely different. They are controlling two different things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. So there is no more question. What Rajendra has typed in the message box, I'll just read it for you. The F number of an optical system, such as a camera lens, is the ratio of the system's focal length to the diameter of the entrance pupil, clear aperture. So I remember the equation. I'm not able to recollect it properly, so I'm not telling much on it. You can just read those chapters in physics one more time. So hope the session was useful to you. There is no further question, so I'll just end this meeting. You will be getting this recording on YouTube. So by then, good night.
Sir,
Please.
sir, excuse me.
Haan.
Sir, I have a not question. I have a suggestion for you.
Please.
Sir, you can add a good thumbnail into your that YouTube channel. Something.
I'm not
Because,
getting what you're asking.
Sir, I am giving a suggestion that you can use a good thumbnail to your YouTube channel or a good icon that will help you to reach more subscribers.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Like currently, I'm not concentrating much on giving popularity to my
YouTube.
YouTube channel. That is not my objective. People who are watching this
Yes.
class, I just want to reach to them. That is why I'm sharing the content. For the time being, I don't have any objective to make my channel popular. So,
Acha.
because what is my objective? Currently, I am in the process of recording high quality materials, like whatever subject we are discussing. For that, I am preparing high quality material with proper recording and other things.
Sir, I have a question that in previous class you told that there is a two type of camera, DX and FX.
True.
I think you remember.
I remember them.
Sir, you told us that there is a certain difference between DX and FX camera.
True.
FX camera used by professional around it cost above than 75,000.
Okay, I have understood
DX.
your question. I have understood this question. I'm just answering because time is very less. I have just 1.31 minutes left. So the difference is that what you do, you take one small box, or let us say one small box you can take. So
Yes,
one
sir.
side of the box, you just make a small hole. I just
Okay, sir.
one side of the box, you just make a small hole, and the other side of the box, that paper portion you remove, and there you put some cloth or plastic, something you put. So what you will get, the image, what the box is seeing, that image you get, but in the reverse way, reflection of the image you get.
Okay, sir.
So this is the proper reflection that you are getting. For DSLR camera, which is not FX, this particular image is cropped, like not exactly reproduced. But full frame camera, the sensor will be bigger. So whatever the hole is seeing, the entire thing will be copied to the sensor or will be seen by the sensor. So no digital modification is done for FX. For DSLR, which is not FX, there is a crop factor, like whatever the hole is seen, a portion of the image is only being captured. So that is why the cost difference and the quality difference, right? I hope I have made it clear with a very short amount of time. We'll discuss this in detail in some other classes.